Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. I've talked a lot this month about how wonderful trout fishing can be for, I think, just about anybody. But are we going to catch trout right now? That's the big question. Are people catching trout? And I called my buddy Aaron Hardy, who is a guide that helps us out with people that want to get into trout fishing in this area. And he told me, he says, the one thing I can tell you, if you want to catch fish, this isn't the time to go. The water all over the upper part of the state is way high. The streams are running strong and turbulent, and it's really difficult fishing because it's so cold as well. He says if I had one tip for people, you got to try to fish deep. Have something that could go deep. Those fish are going to be deep, and he always likes to fish. He says the seam between the really fast water and the slow water, that's where these fish are going to take refuge, and that's where they're going to be the most active. And he said it's hard to find that seam right now. The water's come up so all the structure that he's used to looking at in the sections of water that he goes to, he can't even see the rocks that usually are his tip-off places. But the main thing he says is if you just want to be out there for the love of fishing, the number one thing you got to think about with this high water is be safe. Be careful what you're doing. And he said the other thing is use something dark. He says in high water like this at this time of the year, the trout seem to prefer something darker, like a beaded woolly bugger in black or one of the darker colors. He says he knows of one person so far in his group of friends that avidly fish for trout in our area, that one brown trout, the one guy has caught. He said he's had one strike, and he said he had his rod up, cradled under his arm, and trying to fix the zipper on his vest when the strike came, and he said he wasn't able to hook the fish. But so be it. He said in talking to DEC game wardens, he said he found out that most of the streams have been stocked already. Now, the schedule the DEC had put out was that most of our waters would be stocked in May, but they've already stocked a lot of them. He says, and what happens is a lot of times they'll dump the fish off the bridge, and that's their closest access point, and that high water is just going to wash those stock trout downstream, and they're going to be fighting for their very existence. They're not used to, in the hatcheries where they've been born and been raised, they didn't have high currents to fight with every day. And so this is a new way of life for them. They got to get acclimated. He says he doesn't expect the trout fishing to get good for at least a couple weeks yet. But we do have fish that have been stocked, he told me. And that's kind of good news. But it's when I say kind of, where are those trout going to end up? This is why the state normally waits until May to stock their streams, because they know that if they put the fish in April, when the water's raging, those fish don't have a safe place to go and get used to the stream. But anyway, I'd love to report to you that just go out now to your favorite stream and you're going to catch tons of trout. But I don't think so. I think, and Aaron didn't think so. He said, he's still going because he loves to just go out and fish. And we've waited all winter, so it's open now. But I don't foresee any great results taking place. Remember, you don't just have to fish flies either. But if you're throwing a spinner out, you don't want that spinner going downstream and then bringing it back in the heavy current. It's more difficult to fish. No matter how you're trying to fish, it's going to be more difficult with high water. And that's one of the things that we hate to see when we're trout fishing. It's much easier, like anything else, when the conditions are calm, it's easier to fish. But they aren't calm right now. So that's my trout fishing tip to all of you. Wait till the conditions get a bit better. But, if you just want to be out there, then now is a good time. I think with the conditions we've had, I don't think the black flies will be terrible just yet. And that's always one of the things that I associate with springtime stream fishing is the black flies, the scourge of the North Country. With that sour note, until next time, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.